Okay, there we go. There's me.
Sorry.
And I think there's
Can they hear me? Oh, okay. Sorry, guys, if there's a little bit of weirdness going back and forth between myself and Vertec. I guess we have a slightly different setup for our microphones, so we tried to set it and forget it. It does not work exactly.
Yeah,
So,
we're gonna have to tinker with it every time we swap back and forth. But anyway, la 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 la, round 2. Greetings, adventurers of Vera. Welcome to Tavern Talk at the Golden Feather Tavern. We are Vertec and Chibi, keepers of this fine establishment. The Golden Feather Tavern is open to all travelers to come and share their thoughts on the inner workings of Vera over a nice tankard of ale, mead, hot chocolate, or any other delicious beverage of choice. So raise your glass and pull up a chair as we delve into tonight's discussions, if I could also speak. And today is the 24th of September 2024. We're on episode 032, Crafting in Games.
1?
Huh?
0321?
0321, Crafting in Games. How are you tonight, Chibi?
I am doing well. You are a little tongue-tied today.
I am. I can't say simple words. It's killing me.
It's okay. You should have seen him earlier. He came back from the dentist today. He had the dentist appointment and he was struggling with talking a little bit. Yeah. But doing pretty good. Got back from the gym and here for night number 2. Yeah. How about yourself? How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I survived the workday, which sometimes is a large accomplishment. Today is one of those times.
Yeah, that's fair.
But here to talk some crafting stuff. As per the usual, as we mentioned in the intro there, if you are friends of the tavern, if we've seen your face before, we've heard your voice before, or we've seen you in chat a little bit here, feel free to join our Discord and put yourself in that live stream queue. We'll bring you on in if you have any opinions on crafting, that is.
And I'm going to move this over here so I can see it. There we go.
Yeah. Good job surviving work. Yes, that is worth the hype right there. So...
Crafting. Yes?
Crafting.
Yes. All right, I got this from here. So today we're going to talk about crafting, and part of the reason why it came to mind was not only have we been playing Tales of Fablecraft, but we've been playing like D&D previously. Obviously, Alpha 2 is on its way. We played World of Warcraft and a number of other games, be it MMORPG, TTRPG, etc. But each one has their pros and their cons, and their really good things that they're good at and the things that they're not so good at. And typically, I don't know about you, Vertec, typically I've found that a lot of games tend to have crafting as like an afterthought. I know that you've expressed some frustration with that yourself.
That's why when people say, well, like, what games have had really bad crafting systems? Well, all of them. The crafting system itself might be half decent, but it's utterly forgettable because it has zero impact. Yeah,
exactly. And I mean, there's often times like during D&D, we played Descent into Avernus, and you were playing Techie, the artificer, tinkerer type character. And while our GM was really amazing, unfortunately, it felt kind of useless, for the most part. He was able to kind of make it feel like it was worth doing. But oftentimes, as players or DMs, there's like a little bit of like a lack of direction on what to do with crafting, especially within the TTRPG space a lot of the time. And I don't know about you, but for me, World of Warcraft kind of felt like an afterthought as well. Because like it was more like what you do when you get to end content, not really what you do while you're leveling.
Yeah, and Proctes, unfortunately, SWG, I have heard, had an amazing system. I did not play any SWG though, so
neither of us have played it. So you'll have to tell us all about it.
That's one of those I skipped over. I was playing other games when it came out, and then for a little while there I was playing other stuff. And then by the time I really heard about it and wanted to try to get into it, it was already so late game that I was like, yeah, I'll just, oh, look, shiny. And I found something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, the D&D thing, like apparently they've made it better with the newer system. Like the D&D one or whatever.
I have not actually looked at that, but that is something worth for me to like look into.
Yeah, I haven't really either. I've heard people who have gone through and read a lot of the rules said that they've made it better, because in D&D, crafting is like, if you want to craft a suit of armor, it's basically like building your own house. As far as how long it takes, like, yeah, you're gonna take 2 years of time off between campaigns, right? And that's the time that your character ages to make that armor. I'm making a steel full plate. That's it.
Yeah.
Take a real life armor a week to make that. Come on. I mean, I'm exaggerating there. It'd probably take him longer than that, but still,
like maybe a month or so.
Definitely not 2 years. 2 years.
Yeah. Let's see. Considering how important crafting is going to be, I really hope it has some engagement to it. I hate the crafting bar or like being simplified. Yeah. Blacksmith time to make full plate armor. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Taco, welcome in. So let's see what some of the other people have said here. AV says, I'm playing Star Wars Old Republic right now, and it's awesome. I never got that far in SWTOR to even do any crafting, so I have no recollection of that. What about you, Vertec? I think you played that.
Yeah, I played SWTOR. SWTOR, crafting was another one of those things. It was kind of lackluster. It existed. You could do stuff, but to me it wasn't really impactful also.
That's fair.
At least in the beginning, I'll say that, because I tapped out after the first 6 months of launch. I played around with it for like 6 months pre-launch and then about 6 months after launch, and I tapped out. They removed any motivation to be competitive in anything, and so it got boring really quick for me.
Yeah, sorry, my watch is going off and distracting me a little bit. I think I played like maybe all of 10-20 minutes of that game, and then when I was trying to play it with you, my computer wouldn't download it, so I just gave up on it. But yeah, no, I like the changing storyline too. The fact that your decisions really have like an opinion, a matter, like a place in the world, right? So you can change between light and dark. I really enjoyed that. That was really nice. Now, here's something interesting, because Chico says, I'd love to see Crowfall level of depths to crafting without the ridiculous grind requirements that game had. And I'm going to be honest, Vertec and I have heard things about Crowfall. We've never once, I think, ventured into it or checked it out ourselves. It was not something on our radar that was interesting enough to go look at.
Yeah, that was always one of those, like, it'd be kind of neat to look at if it launches.
Yeah. But Chico says gear drops from the open world where for the first few weeks of the game, but by the time the crafters ramp up, they completely dominate the gear game. For what I'm assuming that was hello, Demon. No, it's okay. You're just excited. It's fine. I'm assuming that was for like how Crowfall did it. But I really like that. I believe Steven said in the last one that, you know, armor won't be dropping in the future. It was just, you know, placeholder for now. But like pieces will be dropping for you to create the armor.
Yeah, you'll be getting components. And you'll have to actually craft it all out. For the most part, he did say that there were going to be pieces dropped every once in a while, but it would be more in the realm of where it makes sense to.
Yeah.
Like,
and
slaying a bear, you're not going to find a helmet like sitting on the bear's head.
You might find bear pelt that you might need for your armor piece, though. All right, so cool. Chico gave us a TLDR Crowfall crafting. You had to make a bunch of small components that went into gear. Each piece you crafted could be customized to give specific stats that you chose when crafting. I really like that. And hello, keyboard. How did your painting go yesterday? Keyboard says supply and demand. It's good that crafting is limited. How many you can specialize in? Yeah, exactly. And for those of you that don't know, I mean, you can only grandmaster in two of the artisan classes, and you can only master 3 of them. So it's going to be limited. It's much less limited than it used to be, though, right, Vertec? Because I think they changed it. It used to be only in 1 parent, so you could only do 2 grandmaster crafting, 2 grandmaster processing. But he recently, I believe, opened it up to be across the board.
They expanded it out, so you could go up to like journeyman, I think it was, with everything. So you could do a little bit of everything, at least make the basics.
Yeah.
But and that's kind of cool. I dig it. I dig it. But yeah, at least limiting it so you can't do grandmaster everything. It's going to kind of force people to work together or create alts if they're really trying to do it all on their own. But that's still going to take so much more time devotion instead of just saying, hey, you got some nails? I got some wood planks. I'll trade you.
And Yashada saying supply and demand. YouTubers that influence choice could also dictate the prices for like the meta gear. This could progressively become expensive. And I'm like, well, maybe kind of, because again, it depends on which servers those YouTubers are on and how much sway they're actually having and what time of year it is and what resources they have access to, things like that. Now Lucas says Steven said both resources and completed pieces would drop. I think, but yeah, what I was referring to was I think the completed armor that you're supposed to be crafting later was dropping in the video. But he was saying like that wouldn't drop. You would have to craft that in the future. Sorry, I didn't like make that more clear. But yeah, I mean, obviously they're going to be dropping completed pieces, but it's not going to be nearly as good for you as like crafted gear might be.
Yeah, it's just going to be more populous to find the pieces and parts, components.
Yeah. Prakti says crafting in Star Wars Galaxy allowed so much personalization. Each item had recipes. Each recipe took multiple ingredients, and every ingredient had different stats. Depending on the materials used, the quality of the craft was affected. Just so complex yet engaging. And I kind of like that. We're seeing a little bit of that already with Ashes. With, you know, if you bring a higher quality item to craft an item with, that improves the item's quality, depending on how many higher qualities or how high quality of an item you bring. And I really like that. I'd like to see more though.
To a degree, WildStar had the same kind of crafting type setup because you had with different tiers of your crafting skills, like, you know, novice, professional, master, grandmaster, etc. There were different types of materials you could work with, like different metals and different skins and such like that. And then there were little power crystals that you could add in. They started off with almost like a heat map type thing, where you had to add in certain components, and there'd be like a little square with like a little circle heat map, and you had to add components until you landed inside that circle, and then you would craft. And the smaller the circle you landed in, the better quality it would be.
Okay.
After it went free to play, they changed over to something that was like a circuit board type crafting, they called it, where you'd have a pattern, and then you could add in different power cores, and the power core would get you a different quality. And then you could, depending on your skills and talents and how good you were at your craft, you could bump up or bump down certain stats until you hit a point where it was overcharged. And when it was overpowered, then you had to dial it back a little bit. You could take it up to a certain point. And it was kind of cool because if it was, say, a shotgun type weapon that excelled in just pure brute force power, but didn't really have a whole lot of critical rate, if you tried to add critical rate, it would actually overload it quicker than just adding more power. So you could reduce some power to a large extent in order to add a lot of crit rate, if that's what your build was trying to focus around, was critical hits.
That's really neat, actually, because I don't think I got that far. You showed off your like housing to me before it died, and we played a little bit, but I don't think I really got that far. There was a lot to figure out at once for me with WildStar. I was like, wow, this is a big game.
It is, or was.
Yeah. WildStar, the flavor of Star Wars Galaxy, but it wasn't the same dish. Still tasted good, but it was no 5-star meal. Aw, yeah.
Yeah, it was a 3-course meal, not the 5-course meal.
Adgron, hi, says, I enjoyed the crafting in Skyrim. I know it's not a mob or an MMO. Sorry, I don't know why I said mob. I know it's not an MMO, but it had the same systems Ash's plans on with raw, processed, crafted, upgraded. All I know is I need to be the one swinging the hammer. And yeah, I think that's like, you're welcome to talk about other games, because like this is just general. We were talking about Ashes for like a moment, and we're probably gonna slip back and forth between that. But the idea for tonight was just to compare and contrast, like bring us your favorite games and how you felt like crafting was done correctly for those, and talk about like some of your frustrations with crafting. Like I often felt like in a lot of the TTRPGs that I play that there wasn't really a reason to do it, except for maybe for story element reasons. Like Aurelia crafted a little like flower headband and then gave it to Techie, even though he doesn't have any hair. Like that is something that I feel like crafting would work into, because she's got the herbalism and like she can spend time to like try and tinker with it, but it's not really adding any value. And I think that's where, as a DM, I prefer kind of rewarding that. So, for example, last night, we saw that one of the people were trying to tinker with like their wood and metal. If you guys were here, we were playing Tales of Fablecraft last night. Very fun game. If you guys like TTRPGs, that's kind of like a TTRPG meets like a video game. Is really cool. Probably doing it next Monday as well, because Vertex is going to be out. But I like to take those moments, and when you use that like thinking out of the box moment with the crafting, I love to kind of reward that stuff, because like that's exactly what somebody would be doing, right? If you can't get from A to B, but you know how to tinker with stuff, maybe you can make it easier to get from A to B. Create like a walking path, or like a stepping like system. not the most secure, but better than nothing, right? But yeah, I think Ashes is going down the right path. But World of Warcraft definitely felt like I'd get to the end game content, and that's only when it would matter to do it. I want it to be valuable the whole way I'm playing, whether it's an MMO or a TTRPG. I want it to feel like it matters.
Yeah, but the worst part about WoW crafting is it only mattered once you got to max level, and then most crafting only really mattered to get you the perks.
Yeah.
Like the actual crafting of stuff was just absolute garbage. You know that you have to devote like 4,000 gold to just push through the crafting, get the perk from it, and you're done. And then you just sell everything on the auction house or to a vendor and get what you can for it. A few of them obviously were exceptions, like potions and to a degree inscription, because you needed your little was it the glyphs? I think it was.
Yeah, I think so.
You needed those, but you only really needed those to be pumped out and really make money for them every time a new raid or dungeon series would come out. Like new stuff would be added in. But outside of that, it was still just get the bonus. Jewel crafting maybe was another one you could make some decent money with, but not become rich.
Yeah.
It was all, and that's the type of system I'm talking about. Like there's so much more they could have done with it if they just made it more actually impactful and integrated into the daily everything.
Yeah.
I'll say one system, one game that's really old, that had a very, very basic crafting system, but maintained its relevancy fairly well, was Ultima Online. I haven't played it in a long time, but it was super simple, very straightforward. Like there wasn't a lot of complication to it, which is, pro or con, depending on how you feel about it. But it was still impactful because you could absolutely have your armor just flat out destroyed and you need to go buy a new set of armor. Oh, there's insurance now. Oh man, see, I haven't played in a while.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that.
You could be out in the middle of nowhere and you take a last hit and your armor just dies, and you need to find a vendor like ASAP to buy a new set of armor.
Oh my gosh, that sounds intense. I think I'd have a slight panic attack getting back to the armor. Some things from chat. Keyboard says you could also sell patterns and materials to crafters that will make for some gold and good PvE content. Yeah, UO was intense. That's what I hear. And Ishada says, honestly, on the topic of money, master crafters and consumables will make consistent and reliable wealth. And I think so as well. Keyboard says, I wonder if they have an experimentation element. Ooh, that'd be really neat if Ashes had the ability to experiment a little bit. That's something I've been talking about a lot. And Narluka says, I feel like people that want to craft in TTRPGs is because it gives the players more agency over their gear. And being at the mercy of a DM to get stuff you will find useful or cool isn't really fun. And I think that's where it kind of is up for the DM to be like, oh, you get this dagger, but you don't have like a rogue in the party. Okay, well, that dagger now became, I don't know, a wand, a light sword, I don't know, short sword, something like that. And I think that's where like making sure you understand what your party is, like the party that you're, you know, hosting, what their comp is, you know, I think that's important for that. And then additionally, Keyboard Oracle says, I hate it when you have to craft 3,000 boots to get the XP just to be able to level up and make better boots, which then you have to make another 3,000 of just for them to get the crafting up. And yeah, that just feels more like a chore than anything.
Yep.
And hello, Dominus, by the way, again. I just want to make sure I take a moment to say hi and welcome you in. But Adgron says, sadly, the WoW crafting did not even produce items that were really useful other than for some like quests and raids. Even that, once you did a few times and you got the gear from there, then it made your gear, like your crafted gear, useless. Purple tunnel crafting, exactly, Avi.
Yeah, and that's the thing that always got me. Is just make it useful, make it meaningful, make it something people need to and want to do, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I feel like that's a hard thing to get across because, right, like, so Ashes is offering the idea of you crafting as you level, so at least that's making it more important as you go, right? But maybe the way that it is, some people will find boring. You know, there's always going to be like a fine balance somewhere. And I wish I had known what Star Wars Galaxy felt like to play so I could have a better idea of what that comparison is. And maybe that'll be what I do after this is I'll go watch some videos on people doing some Star Wars Galaxy crafting to get a better idea of what that looks and feels like.
All we got to do is convince somebody to buy the IP and start putting out servers again. That's it. It's pretty easy, right?
I mean, it's right there next to Wildstar, right? Hello, GLS. Welcome in. Welcome back. It's hard because you don't want meaningful, because you want it meaningful, but yeah, it's just bad sometimes, yeah. There are servers. What? There's servers?
Oh, somebody already have, or not already, but somebody has private servers running.
Penumbra. So the game should add breathing, something you already have to do. SWG emu. Okay.
Okay, so all we got to do is go over there and start playing. This is all we got to do.
There you go. Problem solved. With gear degrading but being in the game, as well as the possibility of losing gear in PvP, crafters will stay in business. Yeah, absolutely. But I hope it doesn't break completely while you're wearing it. Unless you've been absolutely like ignoring the heck out of it, then I could understand that. But at least give me a time period to go like repair before it completely breaks on me.
Yeah, I think it was something like if you let it get down to 0, it could end up breaking or something. Let me actually
have a petticoat on below. Yeah, gonna need something. Let me see. You're doing the same thing as me?
Yep.
That's funny. We both just look it up. Or not. Yeah. I don't want having to be I don't want having being ganked to just destroy my armor. Yeah, exactly. It does. Like, that would just that would suck, I think.
You get on your mount to run back in town to repair your gear because, oh no, I let it get down to 1. And somebody jumps you halfway back and your gear just explodes.
I can't find it.
Let's see. Item durability, item decay does not destroy items, but it acts as a material sink. 0% durability will unequip an item, increasing its repair costs. So the destruction of items is going to come from over enchanting.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it wouldn't completely be destroyed unless you were over enchanting. Oh, good, you're good. These are much more chill nights, so you're welcome to pop in if you want still. And also, no pressure to put your camera on. We just put ours on just in case people want to see our faces while we talk. So I have to be in a good community to keep the griefing down. I'm going to get really good at enchanting as a scribe. Oh, I hope so. Do they even talk about the different types of weapon damage? Blunt weapons might cause more damage to armor. I don't know. I don't think so. Not that I saw there, but possibly.
Yeah, I actually kind of hope that they do something, because again, on the Ultima Online kick, different types of weapons would do different types of effects, or they'd have different types of effects. So hopefully the weapon skill trees will impact that. Like, what was it? Blunt weapons like a mace would impact your opponent's stamina, as well as hurt their armor more. And stabby pointy weapons like a Chris and fencing type weapons, they had a decent chance to paralyze the other person. It would just paralyze for like, I think like a 2 second CC or 1 second CC or something like that. So yeah, if different weapon types would have different effects like that in Ashes through the skill trees, that'd be really nifty.
Pretty sure they've talked about damage types, but not about specific damage differences, just different armor values versus certain damage types, from Chico. Daz says, well, there are some awesome communities around who will be protective of their regions, which, yeah, if you guys don't know, you want a really good protective community. I think the roleplay community is pretty strong, like in protecting each other and themselves and things like that. So, I mean, if that sounds like it's right up your alley, go check it out. I think, what is it? ARC, right? I think I set that up. Check out the role-playing community.
There you go.
I got that set up all schmandy dandy, and I figured out how to like put it on
fancy.
YouTube too.
My goodness.
I'm fancy. Look at me learning.
The aggro simile with gear able to degrade and eventually break. At least the degradation doesn't lead to breaking. Just unequipping and costing more to repair is what the last word was. But even so, yes, hopefully a tank will have a way to slow down gear degradation, because if not, man, if I'm going to be in a party, peoples, you need to give me, I expect tips for the tank.
Yeah. Chico says, and if you keep dying as a tank, find a better group. And Penumbra says, in Rust, even broken gear can be repaired. When you repair something, it loses about 15% of its max durability, so you can't repair it the same thing unlimited times. And that makes sense. I don't want Ashes to be a like survival level game when it comes to my gear. Like, if I worked really hard and I was able to craft my armor to be of a certain level, I'm gonna be really upset if that breaks and like I can't use it anymore. That's probably why I'm not gonna over enchant it. I'm just gonna like up to that line and leave it there. Vertec, your tips are my heals, sir. Says Dez. And Junjin says, do we know if we can do repairs mid-battle? I don't think we know that yet. There wasn't any way for me to try that during the Node Wars. Yeah, no, there's no way for me to try that during the Node Wars. I was gonna say, except for maybe changing out armor. I don't remember though. You'll be sad as I learned how to enchant watching my mats go to oblivion. Yep. Such is the chanter's life. Weapon degradation is such a turnoff in games. Hey, Cobra. Yeah, I don't know about weapons. That's actually a good point. Like your weapon breaking, not just your armor, but your weapons, because everything's crafted for the most part, right? So what does that look like?
Yeah, I think as far as repairing in mid-battle, I think as long as you can find a player stall around, you should be able to. Let's see, in marketplaces or as business buildings on freehold plots.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Sounds like it's all going to be based around towns and social centers.
Your shadow says, imagine needing that legendary material again because you miscalculated durability. Please no, just temp break and need repair. Like, oh, geez.
Yeah.
A limitation of crafters fleasing everyone. It will be in the crafter's interest that everyone in the node has good gear. Yeah, honestly, and like again, Penumbra, to your point, because Penumbra says gear breaking depends on how hard it is to replace. But if you worked so hard to get it up to a certain level, like if you used a higher quality of items and that is hard to get, like that's what I'm getting at, is like I'm imagining those like heroic and like legendary, like whatever that like upper tier whatever that upper tier is. I imagine that's going to be probably not so easy to get, but we'll see. That's what Alpha 2 is for, right? Testing it out, seeing how like hard it is to get different things and give our feedback.
Yeah,
especially for PvP. Yeah, that makes sense.
I have a feeling though,
Damon.
If crafters make the best stuff and you have to defeat bosses and such to get the items for it, unless you're using, second, third, fourth tier down items, then it's going to be, relatively difficult. It's not going to be super easy to get decent gear.
Right.
Because they're all going to be on a timer, and I guarantee you those people are taking care of their guild first before they start selling anything.
And to who was it? I think it was Proctes. Yeah, to Proctes' point, Proctes says degradation needs to happen to keep crafting going. Absolutely, I completely get that. I'm more worried about breaking. Nice. Demon Soul 1 with the holy sandal. Can we change that in the text prompt to say like holy sandal instead of flip flop?
Might be able to.
The glorious sandal. I think that'd be funny.
The glorious sandal.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, as a crafter, I completely agree. There should be some degradation to gear and weapons, but please don't let it break. I would be so sad unless it's like, if it's something like common, I would understand. But if it's something that I got to like a higher level, oh, I would be so sad. Gear is likely to be hard to replace. Yeah. I mean, especially like I'm imagining, and hello, Grumpy Guy. I'm imagining so for those of you that aren't familiar, in Ashes of Creation, you're going to want to raid and do a bunch of PvE or PvP, because we know if you die in PvP, you drop a portion of your what is that? Gathered goods. And I mean, sure, you could probably...
You might drop gear.
Yeah, if you're corrupt, you might drop your gear. But I'm saying, like, you're going to want to do PvE primarily, or PvP if you don't feel like doing PvE. Could PvP the PvEer and try to get their stuff. But you're going to want to engage in those systems either way to get the stuff needed to craft the things. So I imagine, especially for some of those higher quality things, like the heroic and the legendary, etc. Probably not legendary, because those are like once in a lifetime. I would cry if my legendary item broke.
Yeah.
Could you repair with better materials to make a better piece of equipment? That's a good question. I don't know, but what I do know is you can break down armor pieces that maybe you don't need anymore. Like, let's say Vertec and I went out and did a dungeon and there's like some armor that we didn't need. I believe they said you could like break it down to get some of the materials back. Like blueprints on how to make stuff. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Get craftable items and recipes from deconstructing completed items.
Yeah.
So components and such. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Players gain craftable items and recipes from deconstructing, salvaging completed items, which I love that. Except I am also imagining this in the case of food. Can you imagine getting a meat pie and then just deconstructing the meat pie to figure out how to make it? What does that look like?
Lordy.
Hey, Basil. Yep, definitely gonna go scribe. Yeah. But be careful, Jin, because if you over enchant, you could break the whatever thing you're over enchanting. You don't want to know the meat and oh geez, AV.
Oh, Lordy.
Get off the alchemy kit to learn the meat pie. Yeah, right.
It's delicious. Don't tell me about it.
Give me your food to take apart. Right there you go. There you go.
But yeah, Des, the artifacts are once per server. Legendaries from legendary boss mats or maybe a legendary node. I think just in name alone, I think they may have gotten that backwards. Like you should be able to get, you know, a bunch of artifacts that you can dig up and recreate from old yonder years or whatever. But legendary should be that like people whisper about it and they talk about it. And, you know, it's lost to history or some, you know, thing you read in a book that you aren't even sure exists. And then, oh, we found this legendary. There's legends told about it. This one thing existing. So I think I got the names backwards on there myself.
Gila says only on vertical enchanting, not horizontal, which I think that is over enchanting, right? Is when you do too much vertical.
Yeah, when you try to enchant it too far and it like overpowers it and destroys the item instead. Right. So that's what I was talking about, is over enchanting it. This battle setup reminds me of Log Horizon. Oh, the one on screen. This is the Firebrand boss currently. Horizontal has no risk. Yeah, that would make sense. I mean, why would it if you're like, you know, doing a bunch of items, you know? I don't think it should. Never really said D&D got it right either.
What? Artifacts in D&D are also one of a kind things from like, oh yeah. Pushes glasses arc up my nose.
Oh lordy.
Nice. I would think that durability would go down with over enchanting also. I mean, you could break it, so yeah, that in a manner of speaking, it goes down, right? I don't know if over enchanting automatically breaks it if you fail, right?
Honestly, I've always figured that enchanting itself should make it more durable. Like you could build it up with your enchanting it, it's gonna make it more powerful and also more durable. And then if you do it
we
too
have
much,
an anime boy off in the chat.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh.
Goodness.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't like the idea of enchanting just being a gambling simulator. I think that's the over enchanting, that's the gambling simulator. But I agree, that's one thing I hated from BDO.
Yeah, I forget the levels, but like just as a random statement while I look it up here, like if you could enchant up to 10 safely and anything over 10 gives you a chance for it to break. So I think most people are gonna have it to 10, maybe 11. Again, I don't know how many levels they're looking to add in there, but just throwing random numbers out there. Most people would have it like at the safe cap or maybe one above.
Yeah. Keyboard says hated that in ESO. Scared to upgrade high gear stuff. Exactly. Penumbra says perhaps you don't go out wearing the best gear unless you're prepared to lose. You might go adventuring in a lower tier of gear than you have unless you're comfortable with that, with the group and its goals. I don't know, because for me, I'm like, why would I even bother having a higher quality item if I'm not gonna wear it? Like, for me, what's the point? Go back, welcome in. Comment trait. I was like trait for enchanting. I think most people will run around with purples most of the time. Yeah, I would think so too. Yeah, anime. We like anime here. Fat finger, no problem. I was just trying to figure out which direction that was supposed to go. Vertec got it.
Yeah, I mean, that and honestly, Pen, like going out wearing your best gear, I don't even think that's necessarily a bad thing. As long as you're not trying to go and get corrupted. If you avoid getting corrupted, then you're whatever. Like the worst thing you're gonna do is lose some durability and you have to repair it. But yeah, keep your good weapon in the bag and pull it out when you start facing dragons and other things that are difficult.
Yeah, exactly. What do you mean by a level buff, Junjun? Junjun says, is there a level buff depending on my level of craft? Like, guessing... are you, if you're better at it, you do better buffs? Is that what you're asking? Science Metro will give you the boost to your crafted gear. I forgot about that, actually. I thought that was dependent on what the mayor set up, not like the type of metro. Like Master versus Grandmaster, do I have a higher chance of succeeding? Oh, that's a great question, actually.
Let me actually check, because I think it was something along the lines of like you can make better items is really all it is. Not really like it's going to give you a chance of like critting. Like you can make the, let's say for instance, you can make the same sword at novice all the way up to grandmaster, and grandmaster just makes that sword more powerful. I think you can unlock higher tiers of crafting.
Ooh.
At higher levels is probably how it's going to go. But I'm checking right now, see if Wiki has anything on it.
While he checks that, Keyboard Oracle says, I'd like to see gear for crafting, like your mining vest improves your mining yield. And I agree with that. I think they're gonna, I think they mentioned having something like that already in the game, but it'd be cool if you could craft it and improve what that could be. Like you could craft a set for things like that. And Gubak says, I don't mind having to repair or even maybe resharpening my sword, but please don't make me grind 100 plus hours to get my weapon again. And I feel exactly the same. Like imagine in D&D, you spent the last 2 months, like real life months, trying to get that armor just for that armor to break. Now you're starting all over again. Like that would feel so bad. Because again, like this stuff is, you know, not easy to go by, especially when you get up to the higher level things. Narluka says, I'm not a fan of gambling in general. I don't want enchanting to be a simulation of it. It's usually made that way to encourage spending in pay-to-win games, which goes antithetical to the philosophy of Intrepid, and I agree on that. And who knows, maybe during Alpha 2, one of the phases, whenever they have enchanting in there, that can be something we can try out and give our direct feedback on. I think most guilds will have a dedicated crafters, probably, yeah. Getting the materials to make scrolls for enchanting at high level will be hard to find and expensive. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let's say that while I'm digging through for that info, here's this other bit where I'll just paste it in here. Steven basically says that there's going to be some inspiration drawn from Star Wars Galaxies for the crafting system.
Nice. And yeah, Penumbra, that's fair, but we're still just talking about crafting, not just death or anything like that. Because like then at that point, it doesn't become 1-to-1. So mainly just talking about crafting and the different types of genres. There's a place for everyone, yeah. It is likely that Star Wars Galaxies inspired crafting mechanics will be present in the Ashes of Creation. Without getting into too much detail, I will say that's likely that you'll see some inspiration surface itself in that regard. I know, that's awesome. I hope that's during Alpha 2. I hope we'll see it surface during Alpha 2. That'd be really cool. But I'll be that dedicated tree chopper for sure. Gubak will need you. But I do love, I think somebody else in chat was talking about, yes, Yushado says because they would need to work together to get materials in the first place. Talking about like a guild of crafters. But yeah, that's part of, you know, Ashes of Creation and the crafting system within Ashes is you're going to rely on other artisan classes to be able to do things. And I actually like that. I feel like not only does that strengthen your artisan class, but it strengthens other people's artisan classes as well. Like an animal handler needing to get some leather stuff from a leather worker to be able to like chill, like what do you call it, tame the animal, you know, and like get it to be friendly, or like teach it how to be a mount, for example, and deal with like a rain on its face. AB says, being an animal handler, trained to be a beaver, get logs for you. Junjun says, I'll be needing paper for my scrolls, to back. And then Prakti says, shh, now everyone's gonna do it. To AB. Nice, hello. Pour a shot for you. Well, I have a shot of water.
Hello.
I do have a shot of Fireball. But we saving that. We're really close to our subscriber goal. So whenever we meet the subscriber goal, I will drink a shot for you guys.
All right, so
watch out.
Good.
Watch out for the droughts. It kills all of us in Beavertown. I know. For those that don't know, Sunny has been playing those like simulation games where he's like running the little like society of beavers. And they keep getting droughts and dying, or like famine happens. It's just poor Sunny. He tries his best.
Poor Beavertown.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it doesn't look like you necessarily directly get more powerful items by being Grandmaster crafting in Ashes, but the skill trees are where you would end up adding, well, skills that would I'm assuming they're going to be adding things like quality increases and speed and such like that, maybe minimizing how many resources you need and that type of thing. Now, the one thing that I know was a hot contentious topic when it came up was, I forget who it was saying that Grandmaster Artisans can max out their entire profession skill tree, but a character can only be a Grandmaster of up to 2 professions. So just being able to max out the entire tree, Corey Rice said that. So if you can max out a tree, some people were kind of upset by that because then there's no choice and no specializing. You're a Grandmaster, you're a Grandmaster, you're a Grandmaster, and that's it. But yeah.
Goopback, that is his profession. He's a professional killer.
Yeah.
Also, welcome in, Nice. What did you guys talk about tonight? I saw that you guys were live a little bit earlier, doing your typical voices of Vera. This is true. It is true. I thought we could only max 2 of the 4 paths in the skill tree. Says Proctees.
Yeah, so let's see. Let me find the listing of things, because yeah, basically it's 2 that you can Grandmaster, I think like 4 that you can master, and then it whittles on down from there with something along those lines.
Oh, you master skipped today? 3. Doing the show on Friday. Oh yeah, that's right. Covering the Alpha 2 guide, whatever that ends up being. I'm curious.
Whatever that is.
Did they do an Alpha 1 guide? What was that about? Because somebody said it might be like Alpha 1's guide, and I was like, there was an Alpha 1 guide.
Yeah, we were busy moving. We lost track of that.
A little AFK during that time. Ooh, blacksmithing, very nice. 5 apprentice, 4 journeyman, 3 master, 2 grandmaster. Yeah, I remembered the 2 grandmaster and 3 master. I'll work on leveling tomorrow. Hammer the grandmaster procrastinator. Oh, right on. Yeah, nice. I like it. Yeah, A1 preview stream on their channel. I guess I'll have to look at that.
Fair. Yeah, basically like an intro to, hey, so this is what you'll encounter when you get in there.
Kind of like a hype video. Got it. I'm hoping it's more interesting than I think it's gonna be. But I mean, at this point, I forgot who it was that I was listening to. I think it was Vladis. Vladis said it. Vladis said what I think I've been thinking about lately. We are all so excited for Alpha 2 that a lot of people don't feel like it's really worth talking about Alpha 2 at this point, because it's only a month away to be able to actually test it, that we're all just like waiting in anticipation to be able to get in. And instead of like talking and like trying to do like theory crafting about things, people are just waiting my month to get into Ashes. Just waiting my month to get into Ashes.
Just waiting.
So Yeah, you have all of them from level 1 to 10, but from there you have a choice that you have to make into apprentice. So you can do all of them at a very basic level, which will be helpful because you can kind of help yourself get to the apprentice level a little bit better in case somebody doesn't have something for you that's on. At least you can do that at a basic level. But after that, you're going to need other people.
Yar. More people, more problems. I mean, supply.
I like what Shadow says. In my opinion, the cooperation between crafters is good gaming and helps build a stable economy. One person on 10 accounts wouldn't have the time to farm everything fast enough to sell, sort of. Like, they'd probably want to make up expenses after just to cope, but a community of crafters can justify lower competitive rates. Yeah.
What if you had one person that was all about that gathering life, or two or three people all about that gathering life, and they grandmastered some things and they just gathered all day long, and one person had a bunch of characters maxed out as crafters.
Oh god.
Just sitting in town, just doing nothing but crafting the whole time.
Yeah.
Just waiting for those few people to just keep bringing them supplies to craft with.
Yeah. And Goobak says, I'm curious, what's the difference between master and grandmaster? I believe Steven had said at one point that if you are a grandmaster, let's say minor, then if there is, let's say, a rock golem that you defeat as a boss, you could, as a grandmaster minor, be able to mine that boss for a material that would then be useful for crafting. But that's what I think. Okay.
Oh lordy. Oh, lordy. What a way to enter
that's
a
what
room.
I think the grandmaster is. Oh my gosh. I thought that said hoots for a second. I was so off. Welcome in. So will I be able to chop down a dryad boss or something? I don't know. Maybe. That's the only example he gave. None of us have actually seen a whole lot with the grandmaster stuff.
Yeah.
I want artisanship to be super specialized, to feel unique and need others. One grandmaster level. Yeah, exactly. Nice. By the way, nice. If you want to join in and chit chat with us, like, you're welcome to join us in chat, like literally in voice chat.
Yeah.
If not, all good. Just want to put that invite out there because that's what we do on Tuesdays.
But yeah, keyboard, I don't think there's really been much actual information about bank sizing. I do know that there's some people sad about how the banks are supposed to be functioning and not really being like an instant mail between a bunch of characters or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I'm gonna wait until we get in. Darn you, I just turned off my PC. I'll keep in mind next. Okay. All right, nice. You got it. You got it. Also, nice. I'm gonna want you and a couple of others. Like, I'm organizing that this weekend because Vertec has to leave for a couple of weeks. So while he's gone, I'm doing all the like planny thingies, sneakies. But in about a month, actually, yeah, in about a month, we're gonna be doing our charity stream, our third annual charity stream, 24 hours with opening weekend of Ashes of Creation's Alpha 2 Phase 1. And we would like to get a couple of groups of people to try testing out different things. So it'd be really cool. You guys are welcome to stream, of course. We're not going to stop you. Like, I'm going to be like, no, you must be on our stream only. No, feel free to stream whatever content you want to do. But we want to try and get a couple of people to kind of join us and try out a couple of different things. And just thank you, Chico, for saying what you said. And just in case there is a queue stream happening where we're taking forever in queue, I have a couple of ideas for some backup things to do while we're waiting.
We have plenty of stuff we can do. Do not worry about that.
Yeah. I will be keeping Ashes on one of my screens while we play a different game on another screen or on top of it, etc. But we're
gonna play a game of countdown shots. So every queue position that changes, we have to take a shot.
Oh God, no, don't do that. Why would you do that?
No, would you do that? No, that's a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea. Nobody take that seriously.
No,
nobody take that seriously.
The only drinking game I have, I will give you this little tidbit. The only drinking game I have is if you donate $100, we will take a shot. The goal is to get to $3,500 because can I share this a little bit or should I wait?
We could probably go ahead and give that out. I mean, if people are here, they watch this after the fact, so be it.
Okay. So the goal is to get 3,500 because we're doing our charity stream with Gamers Outreach this year as our primary charity, and that is the amount that we need to raise so that Vertec and I can go to a local hospital and set up something called a go-kart, which I think is just so adorable.
Yeah.
So I did the calculations. If you tip $100, there's only a maximum of 35 shots in 24 hours. Which is way better than like $10 per shot or like something else crazy. It sounds expensive, but I also give you guys a couple of other things. I know, only 35 shots, but to be fair, I was thinking of doing it at like $10 or $50, and I was like, oh God, what if they murder us?
Oh, that would be dangerous. Oh no.
I was like, no. We're just gonna do $100 for a shot, but hopefully there'll be a lot of other perks for you guys that you would maybe want to do something else besides the $100.
You see, we would have to get, one of those little like timer things on the screen that looks almost like an hourglass. To
before the next shot.
Yeah, we keep shots within a certain number per hour so we don't fall over dead or pass out at the keyboard.
And lots of water.
Yes, lots of water.
Lots of water.
So a lot of shots for the 35, that'll be the cap for shot donations.
Jamie, thank you.
Jamie Chaos, welcome in.
Oh God, they're bringing the raid. The raid.
How was the stream, by the way? I saw you playing some Warhammer.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
You guys are playing that for a bit lately. Speaking of shots fired. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, pew, pew.
Pew, pew, pew. Oh, hold up. Shield up. Shield up.
Shield up. Gotta protect from the pew-pews. Hello, Overall. Welcome in. Hello, Nuclear. Welcome in. And Syndarix, charge. Just remember, you're in the tavern now, so please, if you break it, you buy it. Okay. Every time the donations go up by 100, or the donation is $100 donation.
Yeah, a single donation of 100.
It's going good, Jamie. I'm glad it was a ton of fun. We are talking about crafting. Charge gently. Thank you, Syndarix. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Jamie, we had Nuclear was trying to convince at least me to try to play some Warhammer. He was showing that off in the Discord at one point. Like, hey, you should totally check this out. It looks pretty good. But womp womp.
I would say Vertec and I are extremely busy, but also I love watching other people play games that I don't think I would play. I'm like, that game looks cool for me to watch you.
I mean, it looks like it'd be good. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to play it, but it's just one of those things like, do I really want to spend money on it right now when I'm not sure I'd be able to actually play it right now? And then by the time something else comes out, like Alpha 2 or Marvel Rivals.
There's that, and there's also like with you in the Mega Man series where I'm very bad at platformers, so I will sit and watch you, but I'm like, I'm not playing this. Yeah, I think Warhammer is a great universe. I'm really bad at shooting games, you guys. I can't aim for crap. I'm a stormtrooper, okay? But yeah, we're so close to testing more. I can't wait. A few of us in Dunehold are playing Warhammer, and I have to say it's probably one of the most compelling single-player campaigns I've played in a very long time. That's really good to know, Adgron. But I still can't shoot for crap. But yeah, so Jamie, we're talking about crafting in Ashes of Creation, as well as like TTRPGs, MMORPGs. So if you have a favorite MMO or TTRPG or just game in general where you've enjoyed the crafting, let us know. Or like what is your biggest pet peeve with crafting in
I
any
was
of
just
the
gonna
games that
say
you played?
exactly that. Like, or if you don't have a favorite, what's your favorite to complain about?
Yeah, what's your favorite to complain about? Let us know. The story is pretty good. That's really good. I think honestly, a lot of newer games are missing a really good story. I feel like the story has kind of become lackluster for a variety of like single player games as of late, where they're okay, but I just never quite feel like I get into it the same way that I used to get into games. Or maybe I'm just getting older and it takes a lot more belief.
Oh no, oh no. It's also, you've seen some really great games, so when a game isn't as great, it tends to not really have that same shine.
That's fair.
It was alright, I suppose.
Yushato says, I'll see what it's like to button spam and try to animation cancel during lag peak times to see if I can break the game and use multiple abilities simultaneously. Very fair. What percentage of games actually read this story, do you think? Oh, gamers? What percentage of gamers actually read the story? I don't know. Also, I don't know. Syndarix, feel free to correct me, or Jamie if you're still in here. I don't know if it's also voice acted, because I think I find more immersion with voice acting than without voice acting. But I mean, I will read it if it's good. Like I will start to read it, and if I lose interest, I'll start clicking, I think.
Tap out real easy.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I think Overall has the same idea as me. Like, it kind of get into it, and if it's like, no. Like, click, 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 click. Okay, we're out.
Yeah. I don't know. Even in WoW,
No, it's actually, sorry, go back. His background is an AI generated background that I made.
It was a real quick one day. I think you made those like right before we were going live. Like, we need new backgrounds real quick.
Yeah,
we'll
yeah. I made
later.
Mine like Elven Hobbit almost. and yours is, I think, is that the pirate ship or is that the other one?
I think it's the pirate one. Yeah, you're like Pirate Tavern, and this is what came out.
Yeah, I think because we were playing Sea of Thieves, so I was trying to do that. I like to do the story, but if I quest with the group, I get in trouble. Oh no, especially as the healer. Oh no. But Vertec, you were saying World of Warcraft?
Yeah, because I end up being the tank there, Syndarix, so I end up by necessity slowing the group down.
Yeah.
But yeah, when it came to World of Warcraft, the first time I play through the story, I always read everything. Except for side quest. When you bump into like Billy the farmer in the middle of nowhere, it's hit or miss on if I read that one at all. But
yeah,
if it says or feels like a main quest or a parallel to a main quest, then I'll read that one just so I know what's going on.
Yeah. And thank you, Go Back. Yeah, if I had the money too, I would commission probably a proper artist to make me like a nice, like this quality of background for the tavern, but that's gonna be a pretty penny probably. Just having experience what the current thumbnails are from Pally, which I love Pally's work. That's not saying anything bad about that. It's just art is expensive. It's an expensive love. But I enjoyed the stories in Soratory, played that with subtitles on and read as I listened to the voice acting. I like reading and watching the voice acting as well, because it kind of like, I don't know, I'm weird, I think. I like listening to audiobooks while I read the book. It just helps cement the words a little bit more for me.
Yeah, honestly, SOTOR is one of those that I'm still kind of sad that your computer didn't want to install it for whatever reason.
Yeah, because, I love a good Star Wars game.
Because the story there it's still one of the most impressive single player game storylines ever. It's technically a multiplayer game, but you don't really need to run with anybody. You can go from beginning all the way to the end and only run with yourself, and that's it.
Maybe one day.
Except like dungeons. Do dungeons and raids. If you want to do those, you got to take people, but
yeah. One of the things that I think we were gonna try to do for 2025 is get us some upgraded backgrounds, because I love the background that we have for our other podcast version, but that's honestly, if you guys didn't know, we had Phoenix is also his name. I think we have like 3 Phoenixes in our community. But Phoenix ended up creating us a 3D render of what the Golden Feather Tavern looked like in his mind, and I really loved it and appreciated it. So that's what's typically those backgrounds. And I went into Blender and I took all the screenshots and made it look all nice and organized. Took a lot of work. Like, I think many hours of us putting them together.
Yes. Yeah, those worked absolutely fantastic for the VTuber setup. But yeah, if it weren't for the fact that we could create any scene we wanted out of a legitimate 3D bar space, tavern space that we have pre-built for us, probably would have gotten something different.
It's okay, Sana, no worries. Yeah, and also to be fair, like, we were going for that VTuber-esque vibe, but we're on our original background setup that we had, but I'm looking to update again. Always working.
Yes. Always changing. We do an art revamp every like 1 to 2 years. We're doing an art revamp on everything.
Yeah, and I can't believe it. I didn't realize it's been 2 years since we've done the VTuber stuff already.
Oof. Wow.
I was like, oh, it's been that long? Jeez, okay. I enjoyed Sword Tour for what it was, but at the time I only wanted to get to max level in PvP. That's fair overall. I may have said this before, but I suggested to Intrepid to reach out to content creators, see if they're willing to voice act some NPCs. I would love to voice act some NPCs, honestly. But if I knew how to voice act, I totally would. I'd be like, yes, one of us. Wait, pick me.
And that could totally be done, especially if they just did the thing where the NPC will say like one word or one sentence before it spits out the rest of everything else, just so you can get an idea for the vocal tone. Because then you don't even need like a lot of voice acting from anybody. Just hello.
Yeah, exactly.
Adventurer, I need your help.
And exactly.
Offer some ARGs for free. I love it.
But we've actually talked about that on a previous podcast of ours, talking about, voice acting and real life voice acting versus AI voice acting and things like that. I'd love to come across a Vertex Vec. I mean, honestly, right?
Heckin' yeah.
Veckin' yeah. Vertvec. I call him Vectech all the time. He's Vectech to me. But yeah, I think honestly, there's a lot of really cool ideas that other games have done with crafting, and I think that Ashes is on a really good path with it, and I can't wait to see how they iterate it, because I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they hired somebody who worked with Star Wars Galaxy for their crafting system. They hired somebody like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I forget who it was, but yeah, somebody worked on on the SWG crafting system.
Yeah.
And
so yeah, Vec. Go back. So Vertec actually wants to be a Vec. I want to be Pyre, so I guess I'm going Vec because may as well go Vec with him.
I could totally be Pyre. Remember, you're going to be the shortest Pyre possible. I was going to be the tallest Vec possible to kind of equal out the height balance.
But there's no Pyre in phase 1 to be. It's Vec or human, I believe.
Yeah, fair enough. So in testing. But when you come out to launch.
Yeah, exactly. Launch is still going to be the same. I could voice act for the Aussie accent. Okay, keyboard, let's do it. What do you think of a secret NPC crafter at the end of a questline? I love that, actually. I love that. I love it when they do really cool things that like unlockable things with quest lines. Like, make quest line more than just a quest line. Let me unlock an NPC I can talk to. Let me get an area that otherwise I couldn't get into because I've done this quest line and now I've brought up a level of rep with this group of people that I've been questing for. and fulfilling their quests. I really enjoy stuff like that because it adds more depth to just questing. I vaguely remember EQ2's crafting, and I enjoyed that. Time skills during the craft to get better quality could be super annoying for grinding, though. Yeah, that's fair. That moment when dwarves were in A1 but not A2. Start Guvak, don't even bring it up. You're gonna make many a dwarf sad in this chat. They're really cool when they remain about the discovery. Once it's known and there's guides, the quest becomes just a checklist. Yeah, that's fair. How is Dunehold faring? I don't know. I think good. I think so. Yeah, I don't know. Grumble. Yeah, there you go. That's how they're doing. Goobac's over there poking the bear. Next, you're gonna say dwarves should only flip while they're jumping.
Should only jump when they're flipping.
Only jump when they're flipping. We'll be able to master a craft in A2. Yeah, I'm hoping. Nuclear!
Hey,
thank you!
Nuki.
Cheers!
Thank you so much.
Huzzah!
Wow.
Thank you. And we are one away from our goal. We're one subscriber away from our goal. That's crazy.
One away? Or almost there.
And for those of you that are new here, that maybe you don't know what our goal is. So I asked a little while back, about a month ago, in our Discord, if people wanted a Gothic Aurelia, and they said yes. So for Halloween, I'm being Gothic Aurelia, which is my character. So I'm being goth version of her. So you'll get a goth pyre minus like the horns, because I can't get the horns yet. Right, hornless gothic pyre.
We'll find you some horns.
Yes, I can use like little tiny horns, but not like the branchlers.
The fishnets and mascara for the horns.
Des.
Got them out too. Des, look at you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Hey, since the goal was met. Cheers from the flask of fireball.
I need the water first because I gotta prepare for the fireball. To you, cheers. To both Des and Nuclear. My mouth is dying.
Don't die, don't die.
Yeah, my horns haven't sprouted yet. Don't make me self-conscious.
Goobak says,
oh my gosh!
Syndarix.
Thank you. You know what? I'm just gonna go with this one now.
Cheers. Just for that one? Alright. Cheers to you.
Yeah, I think you're supposed to throw the potion of fireball. No, we drink this one.
See, these have been sitting around a while, so we gotta make sure that it's still active ingredients.
Yeah, super active. My nose.
would hate to throw useless fireball potion.
Yep. Raise a glass of sake. Yeah, sake. What kind of sake are you drinking? Ah, that makes sense. Yeah. You know, I gotta make sure the burning sensations still exist. I just had sake on Sunday. Ooh, tell me what sakes you guys had. I like sake. I'm gonna drop by in a bit. I've been busy with my new job. Wanted to spread the love. Aw, it's all good, Syndarix. Thank you. You're definitely super appreciated here. And thank you for even just being here and chatting, honestly. Your presence alone is a gift. That's why it's called the present.
Yes, it's much appreciated, much appreciated. Your time spent here is the greatest gift.
Snow sake, do not recommend. Okay. Don't try whatever it is. Don't try a snow sake.
You're crazy. You're crazy. Send it all to me.
Croctees had pear-infused sake. That sounds good. Plum sake. Oh, that sounds great. Jeez. Oh, I'm sorry. No, you're gonna make me blush.
Yeah,
we're just gonna keep moving on.
Go ahead and send all the sake over to me. I will absolutely devour it for you.
Yeah. And Keyboard Oracle says, I wonder if they will have broken horn options for old pirate. That would be awesome, actually. I could see that. could totally see that. And filtered sake is the best. Oh, I don't know. The best sake I've ever had was rose petal sake. You have my interest. If you ever figure out what that is, please let me know so that I may buy it. If you guys don't know me, hi, I'm Chibi. I really like roses, but I'm super obsessed with cherry blossoms. But I like them both. Geolus wants to know if you drink sake warm.
Depends on the sake. I don't normally, but yeah, usually to be honest, most of it's like room temp, but whenever it's not room temp, I usually do it cold.
Hold on, I want to show this off just because we are here. And we've gotten at least 2 more spins. I think maybe 3, so we're up to 6.
But I will say, Geolus, that's mainly due to 1, laziness, and 2, because I haven't had anybody tell me that any certain kind of sake tastes better warm, so I've never tried it. Right? Well, it's not that I've never tried it. It's I don't experiment with it. I like it. The little bonsai.
I love this thing. This was a gift, and I had so much fun putting it together. I love this thing. It's a little cherry blossom bonsai Lego.
Thing's super nifty.
Yeah, and it sits on my desk over here, and I have like this little cherry blossom bonsai tree. It's really pretty, and I really like it.
Oh no, that's no good keyboard.
There we go.
That doesn't sound like fun at all.
Thank you, guys. What's not fun? I broke my drinking ability when I was younger. In addition to multi-day hangovers. Oh no! I've never experienced that. I'm sorry. That sucks. But yeah, I think you can get it from Target, by the way. I don't know if they still carry it, but it's a bonsai tree. And there's 2 colors. One of them is cherry blossom colored. So very much like suggest if you like that kind of thing. I went to Kobe, Japan, and tried the sake they served at the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony a few years back. That one was crazy good. Oh man, I'm jealous. You got to go to a Nobel Peace Prize ceremony, or did they just have some like, this was served at the Nobel Peace Prize ceremony? Like, how did that work? What if they let you have cherry blossom horns? Oh my gosh, Basil, don't tell me things like that, because I'm gonna want it. I'm gonna want it.
Cherry blossom branchlets.
Ooh, we got a hype chest. What's in the hype chest?
I don't know.
A puppy. Got a little puppy. Mega mlep. Yeah, mega mlep.
Mega mlep.
Yeah. I want this. I need to go visit my friends in Japan. I've always wanted to go to Japan. That's so like the 3 places I've always wanted to go: Japan, South Korea, and Australia. I don't know why Australia. I just want to go.
It sounds like it'd be fun.
Yeah. I'm gonna go
Outback.
Kobe in February. Oh my gosh. Can you share pictures, Go Back? I'd love to see. Also, just in case, for those of you that have now, real quick, Gila says Kikusui Sake has a website about hot and cold sake. Ooh, Ireland is on your bucket list. Okay. It should be on mine. I am technically Irish and Sicilian. I'm short. Okay, I'm short and I'm pale. That's what I got in life. I'm short and I'm pale.
I mean, I'm just saying, we just need to save up some money and do like a working vacation of like 2 months and just hit Europe. Like all of Europe.
Yeah. Japan, Ireland to find my family lands, and Italy must go to Rome too. Nice. Lived in Tokyo for 3 years? Dude, that's awesome. That's epic. But yeah, I was gonna say, please feel free to join our Discord. I will say in the next month or 2, as we prepare for Alpha 2, we're gonna be adjusting our Discord a little bit. I will have more information for that when we get closer. I'm not ready to do it yet, but I am working with Vertec to plan stuff out. And I go all out when I plan.
Yeah, there's going to be some serious changes happening. Just so you guys know, sorry for the construction ahead of time.
Sorry, the tavern's going under construction, but I promise it'll be much more like TGF Tavern-y, if that makes any sense. I was thinking of adding like a companion tax and not call it like pet tax, because not everybody has like pets, but like companions like snakes and stuff like that. I mean, those are kind of pets, but like not your typical pet. So I just figured companion tax would be a better thing. Show off your companions. So many AOC discords. I feel that. I really do back. And we're at 56 of them and another 60 from other games. Yeah, I'm in like over 100, I think, or almost 100. I had to cut down on a lot of stuff. Yeah, Cinderix, that's fair. It is actually beyond. We've gone for an hour and a half here. I don't know, Vertec, if you have any more that you want to talk about. But what I was going to say is if you are a subscriber, if you like mead, you should check out the Tavern chat for patrons only. And I have posted a mead before the making post where Vertec just got in, what was it, Tupelo honey?
Tupelo honey.
And you're gonna be starting to make some mead with that. So for those of you that are subscribed, we're gonna start having a couple of videos in that section so that you can see our progress on that, because we made mead before, but it's been a little while, and you're, I think, ordering currently a new fridge or freezer thing.
Yeah, getting a new fridge that's kind of designed around fermenting meads and ales and other beers.
Yeah.
It's actually super nifty, but it should be arriving right about the time I return home in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
And then at that point, I'm going to get my ducks in a row. I'm going to get a couple of recipes nailed down and probably get at least 3, if not 4 different batches of mead going, depending on how big I want each batch to be.
We have some flavor ideas too. I won't spoil them. One of them is in that video, so be sure to check that out. But I will not spoil them otherwise. But yeah, I really love that go back Japan, New Zealand for Lord of the Ring tour, and Italy. Nice. And yes, Geolist, there is a cap. I've had to back off of some of the coding stuff before. Oh, Gubek, you're fine. We were just talking about we have in the patron only section, we have a video of some Tupelo honey that Vertec just got in recently. Roasted Steven flavor. Oh gosh. Garcimile, I would not doubt if Vertec does that one, because
there's gonna be at least 3 gallons of that. Absolutely. At least 3 gallons of that's gonna be made. I guarantee.
But no, you're good. You're good, Ishada. But yeah, hi Dante. We are actually about to close up. We do have Pockets, who is streaming at the moment. I've never been able to raid a Pockets because he's usually only live on like Saturday mornings. But apparently he's looking at fighter, gathering class skills, and check out a YouTube video apparently.
Yeah, Pockets would be a good one to raid on over to.
Let's do it. By the way, if you like TTRPGs, because we were talking about stuff earlier, not only was I playing yesterday with Dante, but for subscribers, we're going to have a couple of sessions coming up soon that are just for subscribers to join us and have some fun in the world of Mythos. So yeah, keep an eye out for that if that's interesting to you. Bye, Adgron. Bye, Proctees. Enjoy your Uber ride. And for the rest of you, thank you so much for being here. Cheers to you, because your presence is something that we appreciate. Thank you for talking with us.
Yes. Thank you for hanging out. As always, your time is the most valuable asset that you own. So thank you for spending it here, and we hope it was worth the cost. If not, we still won't give you a refund. So, you know.
Sorry. I'm not a time wizard. I haven't figured out how to get that back.
Yet.
yet.
Either way, everybody, you take care, and until we see you again, have yourself a fantastic day and a fantastic week. Bye.